his home. Sean, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you. Glad to be here and joining everybody.
Absolutely, man. I'm glad you can join the show. I know you've had a busy schedule these last couple of weeks, and I'm glad you could find some time to come on and join us.
Of course, it's my pleasure. I appreciate the opportunity.
So how have you been? And it's you almost a year removed from the school world and playing athletics. What is Sean up to these days?
Well, it's been quite the adjustment. It's been an opportunity that I haven't had to have yet. Adjusting to the real world, the workforce. It's been an adjustment, and but now I'm currently working at Mac High, looking to become a football coach, track coach as well. And it's been a great experience. I've had a baby girl along the way, and it's changed my life for the better.
Awesome, man. Wow. Is that something new that you're about to head into in the coaching realm?
It sure is. It sure is. I'm looking to get started as soon as possible once the pandemic, clears and we get the free reins to be out there at fall camp.
That's great. That explains the Mackay gear.
Yeah, yeah.
Rocking. Awesome,
Yes.
man. Well, tell us, what made you want to pursue the coaching career?
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Well, one of the former Sharyland coaches, who's now the offensive coordinator, Coach Romero, he hit me up one day, and I was previously at Lone Star National Bank, and it was just one morning. He said, "Hey, what would you think about coaching?" And I said, "Well, it sounds like a pretty interesting uh, job, and it's my second nature to be out there on the football field and just teaching everything." And I said, why not? Let's give it a shot. So talked to a few other coaches, Coach Shelby, Coach Alonso, and got familiar with them, and was able to get along with the teaching program, and then talked to Principal Canales that got me in as an instructional aide, and then with the pandemic, it kind of slowed everything down, and then we started up again with the summer strength conditioning. I was there for a couple of days, and then they shut us down again. So, but we're still issuing out handouts for workouts and stuff like that, getting our kids and our athletes ready for the fall, and that's where I'm at right now. But yeah.
Yeah, McAllen High has had a couple of standout track athletes over the years, and I'm sure you've kept up with it. And while you were in high school, you saw some of the studs. I'm not sure if Josh McGowan was around when you were playing ball.
Yeah, I
But
believe he was a transfer. Yeah, I believe he was a transfer. I remember seeing him in the hurdles also, and he's a great athlete, and a running back here at Mac High, and at Stephen F. Austin also.
Right. Yeah. So wow. Yeah. That's news to me. I did not. You're jumping into the coaching world. That's pretty neat. As far as the football field goes, what position are you looking at? You coaching DBs on the defensive side, or?
Yes, I'll be on the defensive side with Coach Alonso and working the DBs. Not too sure yet whether it's going to be the safeties or the corners, but either way, I've dipped into both of those positions, and eager to get with those guys and teach them a little bit what I've learned there at TAMUK.
Definitely. Winding back the clocks just a little bit, going back to your Sharyland days, growing up, being a part of those Sharyland teams. You guys you guys had a run where you guys would go 2 rounds deep, 3 rounds deep. When there was still 5A. When in those 4 years, what moment sticks out to you the most in playing your 4 years at Sharyland?
My 4 years at Sharyland were awesome. From the beginning, moving up from freshman year. That one playoff game that we had against Laredo United, it was an eye opener. There was an injury that occurred that I was able to get put in. It was just an eye opener, a shocker. But then again, I had to realize, I got to use my talents and just let my instincts take over and just trust my abilities in the game that I play. And from there forward, then forth, we went sophomore year, junior year, senior year, and we just gave it our all. The team chemistry from Beale Gray middle school to Sharyland North, and then coming together. There was a lot of weapons that we utilized under Coach Adame and Coach Krell defensively. They really utilized all of our weapons and put a good run together.
Coach Ron Adame, he's highly respected, and I have a good relationship with him, and all the respect in the world to him. Is one thing we learned in our time when covering you guys was you never count out a Ron Adame squad, because it seemed as if every year you guys would lose someone, but you guys wouldn't rather reload. You guys are just retool. I think that's what Coach Adame would say.
Rebuild and rebuild. Yes, sir. Yes,
your
sir.
your junior year, you guys go up to AM Kingsville and you guys beat Calallen
Yes.
28-0. For me personally, that game it's always going to stand out as one of the games where the Valley took it to an outside school.
Yes.
Some people I understand from the outside will look at it and say, well, it wasn't that Calallen team or it wasn't this Calallen team. But but it's like, you guys play who's on the field. You guys play who's across from you. And I remember that week leading up to the game, a lot of people had picked Calallen. And I remember we got to the game and there was just kind of this vibe. There was this kind of this feel that something special was going to happen. Lo and behold, you guys go out and win 28-0. Big win for you guys. First time a Valley team's beat Calallen, I think, in a long time. What was the feel like that week leading up to that game?
There was a lot of emotion going into that, into that week. Week 2 of the playoffs, as one of the top teams in the Valley, we had a point to prove, and we couldn't stop and just slow down. We wanted to keep the pedal to the metal and just keep on going. And whoever was in front of us at the time, was going to get the best that we could give. And, Calallen was a great team, great coaches, great coaching staff, and they put up a good fight. And our team, we battled through it. And it was a fun game. I still remember that game there in Kingsville. I mean, it was for me a potential spot that I could be playing at. So right. I had to bring it a little bit more so that way I can show the coaches, what I had to offer for the team. And, I think we all did. All my team, they realized that this is a great opportunity, a great platform to showcase their abilities.
Right. And in that game, what worked for you all so well? Was it just the chip on the shoulder? Was it the scheme, or was it just everything collectively all in one?
Oh, it goes hand in hand with the preparation that led from Saturday, from the previous week of week 1, the playoffs, that Saturday preparation, watching film after the weight room, Monday morning coming in focused up and ready to work on our schemes and work on just execution on the defensive side. And, Coach Krell, he's one of the most knowledgeable defensive coordinators I've ever met. And in order for him to implement all of his ideas and schemes, we had to pay attention. We had to listen. And he ran a very intense defense and that we loved. And we just executed as best as possible to keep that 0 up on the board for him.
So just how intense is Coach Adame on a game day? You guys are out there on the field. Just what kind of energy does he bring?
Oh man, Coach Adame, he's a silent assassin, put it like that. He's a silent assassin. I mean, he's the most focused individual out there on the field. He knows the ins and outs of everything, and he has a plan for every little thing that can pop up. I mean, that guy, that's why he's head honcho there. So he's a great guy.
Definitely. I got a little surprise for you that we're gonna play here, and I want you to walk me through. I want you to walk me through this, and okay. What exactly happened on this play. And I know you know what play this is.
Yes, sir.
And granted, Sean, I went to Edinburgh North, so I cringed when I watched this.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. When the ball's in the air, we already had the wall set up. We had everything, planned. We practiced it every Thursday before during walkthroughs, and it just happened to be that God put me in that position to turn around and go the distance, and the team just executed their blocks. And I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better runway, honestly. There was slow motion, the ball's in the air, and there was no noise around me, just the ball and the black sky and the lights coming down. And right then and there, I'm looking down at my feet, and there's this about half a centimeter between the black line and the white line there to go out of bounds. And I kind of just stood there, screamed a little bit to regain my balance, and I just said, "All right, let's go."
Wow. Yeah, and is this something that you guys worked on? Was it by design, or was it just kind of, hey, if this happens, we can try this?
Yeah, no, it was by design. It was by design. We practiced it every Thursday, like I stated. it's just for emergency situations. Anything that can happen if the ball's catchable, you can return it, and it's not going to be too much of a harmful thing if you get stopped or if you get tackled. It's not too big of a deal, but there's an opportunity to put points on the board, so we went ahead and took advantage of it. And Coach Lee, the special team coordinator at the time, we practiced it every Thursday, like I said, and he made sure that we had the wall set up and we executed during practice, and it showed there.
What's going through your mind when you let's see, you catch it, you scream, and you're like, oh wow, this may happen.
Yeah.
You see you have that much space.
Yeah.
When was it when when was it that you're like, okay, I'm gone?
It was probably, I want to say, right there at the 40. At the 40, I get through that little crowd right there, and I'm just running. I'm like, okay, no, I'm still up. I'm going. And then I kind of asked the ref right here, said, hey man, is there any flags? Like, is it good? Is it a touchdown? Is that can we do that? And he's touchdown. I said, all right, cool. And that was our homecoming game my sophomore year. And my dad gave me a call after the game. He said, that's pretty crazy. I don't think the extent of how crazy it was. It was like the farthest touchdown you can have. I said, no, it's all right. It's just another play. And then those were my emotions at the time. And to think that we come up to this, I said, wow, it's awesome.
109 yards. We've only seen that in the NFL. A couple of guys maybe have done that before. I believe it even made ESPN.
Yeah, I believe it did. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Monday morning, you guys or Saturday, you guys are watching film. What was the film room like when you guys are rewatching this play?
Honestly, it was just another Saturday of preparation, and we saw the film. We went through it quick, played it a couple times, and then we just kind of moved on. And it wasn't until like Monday morning or Tuesday that it was up on ESPN, and I was like, oh wow. And then we just kind of laughed about it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It was a great feeling to have the team, because I wouldn't have done it without the blockers, and
right.
It was cool because I just said, hey guys, y'all just gave me a wall to run by, and thank y'all.
Right. Yeah, and like I said, I went to Edinburgh North, so when I saw it, I was like, man, why did it have to be against us? Like that's such a cool play. Couldn't have been against anybody else. But moving forward into your senior year, you guys go up against San Antonio Madison in the playoffs. You guys are right back in the thick of things. What was special about that senior year? And you guys had like James Cole, Lance Madden was a heck of a quarterback for you guys. And what was special about that senior year? It almost felt as if everything came together for you guys.
Yeah, senior year, it was a dream come true. We had the exposure we had that had been building from the previous teams, from Tres Barrera to Stefan Castillo, Cesar, Valdez, and all those guys that built up our team, and we just carried on the legacy at that point. And going into senior year, you're on top of the world. You got your teammates that are on you, and you have the accountability, you have the responsibility of leading them, and that's where I was at. Just trying to be the best captain that I was elected to be, and just given the responsibility to execute against high potential teams that I know that they went to the state championship or semifinals. But those are incredible teams. We're going up against D1 athletes. Some things that some athletes don't ever get to experience ever again, and it was a great opportunity, great to showcase our abilities against them and to show the Valley what we're made of down here.
Yeah, that Madison game, you guys were going back and forth. It says you guys were exchanging blows, but from what I remember, I felt that the momentum changer was the pick six on that screen pass.
Yeah,
I think that.
Yeah, I remember that. Lance Madden, great quarterback, great athlete, reminded me of a Johnny Manziel type of player, and we had a little screen pass to me, and I came back on that little pass. I was waiting for it, and just the defensive end just came up out of nowhere and intercepted it, and that kind of changed the momentum for us. And as the way the ball rolled after that.
So you graduate from Sharyland High School. Texas A&M Kingsville comes knocking on your door. When did they first reach out to you, and or when did they come on your radar?
Well, it was actually I went to their door. I went to Kingsville on a little visit. My dad took me. I personally didn't have too much exposure as far or too much knowledge as far as how the recruiting process goes. Um, as a first college student to graduate from my family, I was just kind of learning the ropes, learning everything. So my parents took it upon themselves, and they took me out there, and I went to personally introduce myself to the football coaches and Coach Wilkinson. He had just started his first year there, and so I was trying to look for him, didn't find him at first, and so I went to go talk to the track coach, Coach Dahl. I believe he's still there, and I said, this is what I'm doing. This is my times. I said, I'd be interested in running for you if the opportunity presents itself. And so later on, we had a track meet there in Kingsville during the year, and he saw me. I actually set my school record for the long jump there at Kingsville, and he was doing the rakes for the pits, and he witnessed it. Talked to him. He offered me a track scholarship, and when I finally came back around to talk to the football coaches a little while after, they said, if the track coach offers you, we'll offer you too. And at first, they gave me a walk-on position for football, and I was a walk-on for football and on track scholarship. And then after the first year, I proved myself on the football field, worked my tail off, and football increased my scholarship. And so I was a dual sport scholarship guy, and just working both sports in the spring and the fall. And it was tough, it was tough dealing with work, school, and then the two sports. But it was a molding experience, and allowed me to handle my time management and just become who I am today.
And we're not forgetting, but you were also a track star while you were at Sharyland. You had a lot of accolades while you were at Sharyland. Was it ever a thought, maybe because when you were in high school, saying, if I don't do football, I could do track, vice versa, or was it always a plan you could do both?
Well, honestly, it was primarily just football. I didn't really have my heart set into track, and I did it, I was fast, so I just kind of went out there, gave it my best, and working alongside James Cole, as you mentioned earlier, we had a great friendship on and off the track, and it was awesome to experience that. And he kind of developed my love for track after that. And so come around senior year, we're both working every day, and I was like, this is something I can work my way up to if football doesn't come through. And I was given the opportunity to handle both at the same time, and I got what I wished for.
Definitely. Well, what maybe stood out to you at A&M Kingsville, whether that was on the track, you mentioned you set a school record, or was that on the football field? What maybe a few things?
Well, senior year is when I set the school record for Sharyland, and working under Coach Dahl, great All-American coach. He really broadened my horizon when it came to the knowledge of track and every little event that goes on the track. I mean, you can be very versatile with him and open with the conversations you want to have into which kind of event you want to be in. He's willing to help you, and that's what helped me become better. I really devoted myself. Sophomore year, freshman year, it was a tough adjustment, running against a little bit older guys, running against, faster guys, that's for sure. And, coming out of high school, you think you're fast, and then you realize, oh man, you're not that fast anymore. You got to work.
Yeah.
You truly got to work harder. I said, so, that inspired me to hit the weight room, not take a day off, and how to become a smarter athlete whenever it comes to taking care of your body.
You've seen you've been around long enough to now where you see the split. Now we have Sharyland Pioneer. Just talk about the steps that Sharyland Mission football has taken moving forward. The post Tres Barrera days, the post Sean and Lance days. What have you seen with Sharyland as a district as a whole, with guys like Eddie Lee and what they're doing over at Pioneer?
Oh yeah, Eddie Lee, great athlete, great quarterback, knowledgeable kid. I was actually at the Alamo Dome whenever they played one of the schools up there, and I saw this kid basically hurt his collarbone or shoulder, and keep playing, and he was just an awesome guy to witness, and I believe he signed or verbally committed to UTSA.
Yep.
And that's great to see. He's one of the main athletes from Pioneer, alongside the other key players, the wide receiver who signed to Stephen F. Austin. Also, I believe he's great athletes. They're putting their names out there, putting Sharyland Pioneer and Mission and Sharyland High out there on the map, and it's great to see the programs being just continuing to their success and just exposing themselves.
Definitely. So before we wrap up, Sean, what are you looking forward to the most once sports comes back? Now as Coach Landez on both the track and football field.
What I'm looking forward to the most is actually putting forth the effort that the Valley coaches should have in their athletes, and showcasing their athletes, and hitting up the recruiters and sending out the recruitment letters, their videos, and doing that, because like I said earlier, I didn't have that too much of a knowledge platform to get your name out there, to do all that stuff, camps and all that thing. So I'm looking forward to just bringing down the knowledge that I acquired there in Kingsville and spreading it to the youth, and trying to make these young men into great individuals on and off the field.
And these past couple years, we've also seen a lot of Valley athletes go to AM Kingsville. Michael Salinas is now the head coach there.
Oh, yeah.
We saw Mark and Matt Ledesma. They're making a comeback into the sport. Jacob Cavazos, Westlaco, he's going to be playing there. So how does that make you feel to see that the Valley is still being funneled into AM Kingsville?
Oh, it's great. There's a lot of tradition there in Kingsville, and that's one of the main things. My parents attended Kingsville for a while, and it was a great community out there. They really push for the sports and success, and they're really behind you in everything that they do. And Coach Salinas and Coach Buff also, they're back in Kingsville, and they carry that tradition. They carry that pride, and they enforce it on their athletes, and it just becomes that culture. And it's something that any TAMUK alumni is proud to represent.
Definitely. Sean, before we go, any shout outs that you'd like to give out to any friends, coaches that may be watching?
To all the Mackay staff, Sharyland staff, just all the Valley athletes. I just want y'all to know that the possibility to receive that scholarship is there. Just keep working, keep God first, and enjoy your time. It's gonna fly by.
Definitely. Sean, I don't know if you remember, but we referred to you as Superman back in your playing days.
Oh, I don't remember that, but
I'm not sure if you remember it, but we referred to you as Superman back in the day when you were out there. And I tell you what, you guys were a lot of fun to cover watching those football games on a Friday night at Richard Thompson Stadium. So we were glad to have you on.
I appreciate y'all very much, and may God bless y'all.
Definitely. That's Sean Landez, former Sharyland Rattler, former Texas A&M Kingsville, now on the Mackay coaching staff. The latest addition to their Coach Shelby's coaching staff. Sean, again, thanks for taking the time to join us, and hopefully we'll see you down the road at a Mackay game soon.
Yes, sir. All right, looking forward to seeing y'all.